Before I start this video, I want to make it abundantly clear to people who have not been on my page before that A, I have studied this case almost every day for 5 years, and B, Richard Allen is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and what I say is not going to affect the outcome of a trial or influence the jury or any of those things, and I'm merely speculating based on what I've researched over those past 5 years. And having said that, today I have some things that I want to get off my mind, and I haven't made a video in a while because frankly I don't like making videos just to make videos like some other content creators. That's not what I'm about. Today, first and foremost, I want to discuss this. Becky Patty stating 4 days ago, quote, "I am so over this circus." And honestly, who can blame her? Her and her entire family thought that there was going to be a trial in the 27 teen homicides of Abigail Williams and Liberty German here this month in May. I'm sure they were all emotionally set to see Richard Allen go to trial, but instead, Richard Allen's defense team, which now consists of Andrew Baldwin and Bradley Rozzi, have once again continued to turn this situation into, as Mrs. Patty aptly put, a three-ring circus. Again, they're the ones, Baldwin and Rozzi, who begged to have a speedy trial for their clients. Now all of a sudden they don't want a speedy trial. Now all of a sudden they don't have the ability to try this case within a month's time. And it's turned into a bunch of juvenile games that just re-victimize the family members. I can't even imagine what the Patties are going through right now. And I want you to see this. There is a story that was in the Carroll County Comet in which they interviewed Allen County's chief public defender and Richard Allen's former attorney, Bill Lebrato, about the Delphi case. Now remember, Bill Lebrato was removed from the case after he was put on it temporarily by Judge Gall, and then the Supreme Court reinstated Baldwin and Rozzi, and so Lebrato was removed from the case. But I have some issues with what he's saying to the public and to the media as well, and it's really got me upset. I just want to take you through this here briefly because, again, part of what Bill Lebrato had to say was this. He said, "I didn't put much weight on that bullet found at the crime scene because it wasn't fired from a gun," Lebrato said. "I was always of the mindset that you have 100+ people looking for these girls. Several were most likely armed. That bullet could have come from anywhere, in my opinion." Well, Bill, you might be right. It could have come from anywhere, but the chances of it matching somebody else's gun who was admittedly out near the crime scene that day are pretty small, quite frankly. But again, that's for a jury to decide. And what I have a bigger issue with is this. People spewing misinformation still, even though he's not on the case anymore. It says, "That crime scene was horribly contaminated. You had search parties out looking for these girls. No one knows if they were killed right there or if their bodies were moved prior to or after they were killed. There may be an answer, but I just didn't see it in the discovery I viewed in that short time frame." Really, Bill? Because I can debunk that in about 2 seconds. The first way I can debunk it is this. Sheriff Tobe Lesenby, in an interview with the Carroll County Comet years ago, when asked, "Do you know if the girls were found where they were killed or if someone moved them post-mortem?" answered previously, "Found where they were killed." Not moved, not any of those other things, found where they were killed. Also, there's this. WishTV.com Channel 8. This was reported on in 2022, May 18th. In the search warrant application for Ron Logan's property, the FBI agent that wrote that search warrant stated, and I quote, "A large amount of blood was lost by the victims at the crime scene," the FBI agent wrote. Well, tell me, Mr. Lebrato, if those bodies weren't killed there and they were moved and just dumped from somewhere else, how in the hell would there possibly, according to an FBI agent, be a huge amount of blood loss at the crime scene? Well, the answer, of course, is it wouldn't, because they're just spewing more nonsense for everybody to absorb and trying to create as much chaos and reasonable doubt and other crap nonsense that has no basis in fact to try and sway public opinion. Now, granted, there's a certain level of reasonable doubt that a defense team and a former defense team is supposed to try and create in the minds of the public before a case goes to trial. But honestly, some of this is just getting out of control. It does a disservice to the memories of Abby and Libby. It re-victimizes the family members, and just spewing false narratives like this, or things that have no basis in fact, I can't even imagine the heartbreak it puts the Patty family and Anna Williams and everybody else related to these girls through. Kelsey German, Mike Patty, everybody. And the worst part of it all is the entire Patty family, the entire Williams family, everybody, they all have a gag order on them, so they can't speak out and say what they think of this. They have to have people like me who make YouTube videos, or the media or other people, probably speak what they're feeling. And even though I've not had any direct contact with any of them, I can't even imagine what they're going through. I mean, this just breaks my heart. Seeing a family member of a violent crime victim like this posting things like this, just so the defense team, if any of you are watching this, this is what you're putting this poor woman through. After all these years, either your client has a legitimate defense that it can make in a reasonable amount of time for these crimes, or it doesn't. And I, for one, am upset and tired of seeing victims of violent crime like this be re-victimized by people who are careless with evidence, as happened with Baldwin and Rozzi, as they've already been admonished for, and people like Bill Lebrato putting information out in the public eye that has ample evidence to contradict it as being fact. Have a great day, everybody. I just wanted to get that off of my chest because I know a lot of you are feeling the same way, and I'm sure the family members are feeling this way as well, even though they can't speak it out loud. Rest in peace, Abby and Libby. Your day of justice is coming, even though it's been delayed yet again. Thanks for watching, everyone.